Peace and love, family. Welcome to Candid Conversation. I hope everybody's doing well today. Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday, everybody. How y'all doing? Come on, honey.
Yeah.
It's such a beautiful day outside today. Great sunshine. How y'all feeling today?
It is beautiful. It's supposed to heat up next week.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Are you for it?
I'm not.
You're not for it?
I'm a winter, fall person.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Well, you guess what? I bring the sunshine.
Yeah.
I love it.
Not
I
at
love
all.
it. I love it. I love it. All right.
But yeah, welcome. I am King George. It's the first time here. King George, aka Mr. Knowledge is Power.
Mm-hmm.
And this is my beautiful co-host. If you don't know who she is, this is my one and only, my queen, the beautiful, the intelligent.
Thank you so much, Dr. Natalie Nicole. And again, happy Sunday and welcome to Candid Conversation, where we talk about topics that are,
Not always popular.
yes, but very, very important to our community. So we want you to tune in. We want you to have some feedback and conversation with us. Iron sharpens iron here. So we're here for it. We
Right.
agree to disagree.
Respectfully.
Yes, respectfully. And we're not a fan of groupthink. We want everybody to bring whatever their thoughts are to the table. That's how we grow. That's how we learn. Mm-hmm.
Right. So yeah, bear with us. We got a lot to unpack. There's a lot that has transpired over the week since we were last here last weekend.
I was thinking about that, how we used to do Wednesday and Sunday, because it kind of gave us the opportunity to break things down. And now it just seems like, wow, we consolidated it all into one Sunday, and it's just not enough time.
Yeah. Yeah, but you know, we're going to make it do what it do.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'll get into our quote for the day.
All right.
If you don't mind.
All right.
The quote simply says, "Perfection is not attainable, but if we chase perfection, we can catch excellence."
Okay. I like that.
Vince Lombardi, who the Super Bowl trophy is named after, his quote, again, it says, "Perfection is not attainable,
Uh-huh.
but if we chase perfection, we can catch excellence."
I like that. I
like
like
it too.
that. Yeah, because we need to chase excellence.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
high standards, reach for the stars, but at least if you reach for the stars and fail, you'll still touch the sky. You know what I mean? The sky's the limit.
Yes, yes. And for my church folk out there, when God said he made us fearfully and wonderfully made, I believe that's excellence, right? I don't believe the standards are low in how he created us. So I think we should always rise to the challenge to be the best version of who we are at all times.
Right.
Yeah.
All
All
right.
right.
All right, so I'm going to start with the 2020 election calendar. If you haven't been paying attention, but voter registration deadline, April 20th, 2026 is the deadline. So make sure that you are registered to vote before April 20th.
Mm-hmm.
Advanced voting starts April 27th, 2026, and advanced voting ends May 15th, 2026. So make sure you're writing these dates down. Make sure you're staying in the loop and in the know.
Yes.
Absentee ballot requests started on March 2nd. So you still have time. The last day is May 8th. So you got until May 8th to get your absent absentee request done and sent in. The first day to issue mail ballots, April 20th.
Yes. Same day that the registration day ends. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then runoff, if necessary, if there's a runoff, voter registration deadline, April 20th, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Advanced voting, as soon as ballots are available.
Okay.
Advanced voting ends is to be decided. Absentee ballot request starts as soon as the ballots are available. Absentee ballot request ends, and the first day to issue mail ballots is also to be decided. So we definitely don't want to run off.
Right.
But, you know, sometimes it's necessary and sometimes it happens.
Yes.
So it is what it is. But yeah, welcome to Candid.
Okay.
And we can jump right in.
Wait. Let me do my little part about the
Okay.
advanced voting
What you got?
areas that we have. So advanced voting is Monday, April 27th through May 15th, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. And you have 3 locations right now. 3 locations. Citizens Service Center, which is on Macon Road. You have the Northside Rec Center, which is further down Veterans like going out to Harris County.
Right.
And then you have Shirley Winston. Did it used to be Shirley B, or is it just Shirley Winston? What's going on?
No, it's Shirley B. Winston.
Oh, I just see Shirley Winston here lately on a lot of stuff.
Oh, I mean, it could have changed.
Okay.
Yeah, that's just what I remember, Shirley B.
Shirley Winston Rec Center, which is off of Steam Mill Road. So those are the 3 areas that you can do your early voting. And I always recommend early voting. Do not wait until the last minute, because what you want to do is make sure that you don't have any hiccups when you show up to vote. And if you do, you have time to fix it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Especially with the current climate.
Right. You don't want to be last minute with getting things taken care of.
Right, okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So where are we going next? Let's get into the final candidates who are running for a local election.
Okay. All right.
So we have districts 1, 3, 5, 7, and the at-large 9.
Mm-hmm. And the mayor's seat.
In the mayor's seat.
Right.
Yeah. So the candidates for mayor,
Mm-hmm.
you want to run them down, or you want me to run them down?
You can go ahead with the mayor.
So the candidates for mayor right now is Mr. Isaiah Hughley, Mrs. Joanne Kogel, Dr. Jaketra Bryant, Mr. Steve Kelly, and Mr. Chris Brials. Yeah, those are the candidates.
And Mark LaJoy. I think we forget about him every time.
Yeah.
Yes.
So those are your mayoral candidates right now for Columbus.
Okay. And then for your city council, of course, like you just said, you have District 1, Simi Barnes and Karen Gaskins. For District 3, you have Sherry Aaron, Dr. Jake Golden, and Zach Lee. And then for District 5, you have Mr. Robert Watkins Jr. and Cancel Crab. And then for District 7, you have Lakeitha Ash, Shiara Richardson, and Rebecca Sajak. And then for the at-large, you want to give that one? There's a lot of them in that one.
Yeah, we got Dr. Rocky Marsh. We have
Dr. Cook.
Dr. Kathy
Cook. A lot of doctors are there.
Yeah, Dr. Van Dorn.
Yeah.
John Anchor.
Anchor.
And who's the last one? Is that it?
Mr. Wright, and I think he withdrew, so he's no longer part of that race.
So that's District 9 right
Just
there.
Just the 4 of those.
Yep.
Then we have our school board.
Yes.
So for school board, we have District 2, 4, and which those are not contested. So the current people in there, Ms. Buckner for District 4 and Tillery for District 2, I assume they just automatically get their seat again, which is, how do you feel about that?
Well, I mean, the school board, I think the superintendent needs to change. The school board members, I think, are fine. But the superintendent, I think we need a new superintendent. So
interesting.
Yeah, that's what it is for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then so for District 6, he is contested, and that's Mark Cantrell and Robert Roth, right? And so Mark Cantrell's been in there for a long time, and I've seen some signs out towards Midland. He has those schools out in those areas, Matthews, Midland Academy, things of that nature, Aaron Cone. And Mr. Roth, have you checked out his page yet?
I have not.
He's coming in strong, honey.
Is he?
With the failing grades and the absentee numbers.
Yeah.
And what's interesting to me is that if he can find the information and he knows how to get the information as a citizen, tell me why crime prevention says they can't get the information.
Is that what they're saying, though?
That's what they said.
Oh, well.
You know,
no excuse.
This stuff is listed on the Godot pages for all of the schools. Statistics for their absentees, statistics for their grades and how the school is doing. This information is available. And, it's a quick conversation with a parent.
Yeah. Well, if it's available, there's no excuse.
So. Right. He's heating it up in District 6. That's Robert Roth. Make sure you look him up on social media. He's bringing the facts. Then there's District 8, and she is uncontested. She is Margaret
Schlee?
Yes.
Schley.
And Joshua Smith, which is Sarah Smith, the MAGA girl's husband.
Okay.
So he's running against her, and they have those schools. That's Hannon Elementary, Fox Elementary, Clubview, Richard Middle, things of that nature. Jordan. I know they say it different here in Columbus. How do they say it? Jordan.
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 It's Jordan to me. I'm homegrown, but some folks say Jordan. Hey. to each his own.
Yes, and then finally, District 9, which is considered an at-large position for the school board, we have Sadaya Abdullah.
Okay.
And then we have Dr., and she may be a doctor too, I can't remember, Dr. Kia Chambers. And then we have a Kevin Miller, and I believe Kevin Miller was brought in by Ben Garcia.
Okay.
Yeah, signed him up for that district. He brought in two. One of them has withdrawn. Okay. So, yeah.
Yeah, do your due diligence when it comes to Ben Garcia. If you don't know who he is, make sure you look him up.
Right. He is a consultant for, it seems, the Republican Party and white nationalists. Yeah.
And put in the comment section what you know about white nationalists or Christian nationalists, because I think it's a misinformation, in my opinion, when it comes to that. So they're trying to group everybody who's Christian. Yeah, they're trying to put everybody in the same boat. But yeah, you have your MAGAs, you have your Christians who believe in, you know, their Christian values, and then you have your Christian nationalists. Yeah, but they're trying to group everybody together. But yeah, make sure you do your due diligence when it comes to Christian nationalists. Yeah,
white nationalists. Is that what they call themselves?
No.
Christian
nationalists? Well, that's what I'm saying. I think there's misinformation.
Okay.
They're not all the same. That's all I'm saying. Yeah,
the white nationalists are not all the same as...
Like, they're not, like MAGAs, Christian nationalists, so forth and so on. They're not all together. They don't all represent the same things. Okay. But they're all being put into the same category. Yeah, so...
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, like I said, do your own due diligence because...
Miss Debbie said they all the same.
Okay.
Hi, Miss Debbie.
Welcome.
Hi, Mom. I hope you enjoyed your birthday this weekend. Okay. How you doing, Mr. John? Welcome. Yeah, so... We need to have a discussion about that a little bit later.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, because that's an interesting. Okay, so what you got next?
And today's, the discussion for today, or the topic, we're talking about the data centers. We've been to 2 meetings. I think you've been to 3 or 4, but I've been to 2, and we're going to get into that a little later. So we're going to go into the candidates who are running for governor. Okay. Not all of them, just the ones who came to Columbus and participated in the forum that David Broadcasting did. Right. So we have Jason Estevez, who's a Columbus native. He's running for governor. Yes. Jeff Duncan, Olu Brown.
Wait, Jeff Duncan. Let's clarify who he is. He's the white gentleman who was a Republican, and then he got baptized, and now he is a Democrat. Now he's a Democrat.
Yeah, he switched over. He switched parties.
But if you're following Derek Jackson's page, he's educating us exactly on who Jeff Duncan is. So make sure you follow his page as well.
Okay. So what about Jeff Duncan has he educated us on so far that we didn't know at the forum? So we know that he's a former Republican. We know that. Right.
He's a former Republican. He has supported some things that we have in place now that, as Mr. Estevez suggested, we can't go back and fix. You can't go back. It's like when you break a plate. Right. You can say, "Oh, I'm sorry," but you will never be able to put that plate back together properly how it was initially. So, go ahead and give the other one so I can check out. Okay. Give you some facts on that real quick.
Okay, we have former Mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms, and we have Mr. Olu Brown. Okay. So those are the 5 candidates who came to Columbus and participated in the mayoral debate, not the mayoral, but the gubernatorial debate in Columbus. And again, if you missed that debate, you missed a treat. It was really, really good. Each candidate spoke well. Each candidate was knowledgeable, and they did a great job.
Right. So apparently, according to Derek Jackson, who is also running for governor, that Mr. Duncan has only been a Democrat for 6 months. 6 months.
Yeah,
he transitioned over. So that could be seen as a strategy. Right. Let's see. He keeps apologizing, but he's been incredibly vague about what he actually is sorry for. So that's true. He just says, "And I'm sorry."
Right.
Okay.
What else can he say?
Right. And then let me see, what was the last thing he said about him that was interesting. What did you think? Do you think Columbus, Georgia is big on Keisha Lance Bottom?
I think so.
You think that she is the the leader for Columbus to vote?
I believe so.
Okay.
Just because of her being a mayor and people being familiar with her name and the things that she's already done. So, that holds weight, and that gives, to me, her a slight advantage.
Okay.
Yeah, what about you?
I'm looking. It's looking like it's leaning towards that for me as well. But again, I'm a fan for Mr. Estevez.
Yeah, so am I.
So we'll see how that runs.
Yeah.
But for right now, that's all the information I have that Mr. Derek Jackson has shared.
Okay.
I did have something else, but I just can't find it. But I don't want to hold up the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
And real quick, put in the comment section. Something I read through earlier. When they voted on this $50 million, $48 million for Golden Park to be renovated, which is now Synovus Park, do you guys think that baseball will thrive in Columbus? Because from what I read and being from Columbus, baseball has not thrived. We've had several teams that came here and left for whatever reason, and then now here we go again. So I'm asking, what would make people think that baseball is going to be successful when history has shown us it hasn't been successful in Columbus? So, yeah, I just want to know your thoughts on what y'all think, because I don't think it's going to be successful. Yeah, they had the first year last year they're saying it was successful, but that's the first year. And the citizens are footing the bill. You know what I mean? So all of the investors, those who are the developers, everybody who's involved in this project, they're from out of town. So they're not on the hook if it doesn't go right.
Okay. Shout out to EJ. How you doing? I see you on here. And then
Salute.
also it says that Jason and his wife own the Flying Biscuit in Columbus. Yes, they do.
Right. We eat there frequently.
Yeah. So what I want to say to that is I think they were sold on the $50 million investment for the baseball because of the $400 million development that's supposed to come to the area as a result of that. So I would love to know the contingency, right? Does it depend on the baseball being successful?
Yeah.
Are they going to build it regardless? That's a lot to consider and know about. And it speaks to the point for me of city council and specifically the district leaders being more transparent, having town halls and letting us know word for word exactly what's going on. We're missing it. We're not getting it all in these city council meetings. And if you're not having a town hall, then a lot of us are not getting it at all, the information. That's why we're confused about a lot of things.
Well, I agree and I disagree. So for me, the citizens are not showing up. So some of the citizens are complaining about things that are happening in Columbus, but they're not involved in the process. Like they're not showing up. We go to city council meetings. Where is everybody? You know what I mean? Just like with the data center, it should be packed. If people are so concerned, it should be packed in there. But when we go to these meetings, it's not.
Okay, really?
So people are saying one thing, but the actions are showing a totally different thing. So when it comes to things that are happening in Columbus, people need to show up. You can't complain and you can't, be out here talking about what they should or shouldn't do if you're not even showing up, if you're not asking questions, if you're not doing your job as a citizen to hold them accountable and ask these questions. So
I agree.
That's what it is for me.
I agree. So Ms. Debbie said, no, baseball will not thrive. The people who support baseball are seniors who want to revive their childhood. Okay, Ms. Debbie.
Right. Yeah. I don't think it's gonna thrive either. I mean, it hasn't. We've had several teams: the Astros, the Red Sticks, the Mudcats. Yeah. So and they haven't thrived.
So, and my thing about the citizens not coming to city council meetings, right? You got 9 o'clock. Most people are working. Okay.
Okay.
You know, because even with the data center meetings, some people had to take off to be there, and then they couldn't take off again to be there next week. So our city that's supposed to serve us, they're having meetings during times that's convenient for them, but not convenient for citizens.
I disagree.
They can't come at 9 o'clock. Oh, so you're gonna take off 9 o'clock every day or every meeting to be there, honey?
Listen, if the issue is as important as people are saying, you're gonna sacrifice to be there. Like you can't make excuses of what the time is this and the time is. Listen, when things are happening in the city, you have to be there.
Honey.
Like maybe you can't be there every meeting.
Okay.
But you do need to be there as much as you can to voice your opinion.
9 o'clock, most people are working. That's what I'm trying to tell
Right,
you.
but
now.
you got a month in advance. You know the meeting. You already know what time the meeting's going to be.
I
and
know,
you know a month
and
in
you
advance.
should not have to take off though to attend it.
I mean that's the way it's set up. So you gotta.
And it's not serving the community. That's all I'm saying. And then you got 5:30. You got 5:30 on a Tuesday, so people they have children, they have sports, they have things to do, places to be that they may not be able to attend now.
But you're concerned about the city and
right.
the decisions being made.
But the city needs to be concerned about its citizens and make sure these are. Sometimes it need to be on the weekend so people can show up.
Oh no.
No?
No.
Okay, we're going to agree to disagree now because listen.
One thing we know for sure is when somebody wants something or if they want to do something, they'll find a way to make it happen. Mm-hmm. So to say that, because of this time I can't be there, I think that's an excuse.
Listen, no, honey, no.
Yeah.
Listen, okay, because if people don't have time to take off, then that's money out of their pocket, honey.
You keep saying time to take off.
Yeah.
You don't have to be at every meeting.
Okay.
But if you can take off for vacation, if you can take off for other things, you can take off for things that's going to affect your everyday life in Columbus.
Oh, my. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
to me, it's time out for people saying they don't have time and it's inconvenient. No.
Okay.
I can't get with that.
So, Miss Debbie, I'm sorry. She says, my city council candidates have not canvassed my area in District 1. And you're not the only one. We spoke with someone this weekend. They haven't seen any candidates at their home.
Yeah.
My dad hasn't seen any candidates.
Neither has my mom.
At his house.
Right.
No material, no anything. So, But I will say whose game is strong. The strongest amount of signs that I've seen in District 3
here we go.
was Sherry Aaron. Yes, honey, yes.
Yeah, we drove around.
A whole lot of signs for Sherry Aaron. That means that means she is getting out in the community. Yes, she is boots on the ground in those communities. So kudos to you, honey.
Yeah, and that's what you got to do to make waves when you campaign.
I mean, all we saw was Sherry. I love it. Yeah. And so it depends on where you go, because when we went up C Mill Road, and I'm not sure how they miss you, Miss Debbie, when you're just right in that same area. You see a lot of Hughley, you see a lot of Simi Barnes in that area. So, maybe they're strategic in how they're getting out, but, they want to make sure they get everybody.
But Mrs. Debbie, we know you're going to hold them accountable, though.
Yes.
We know you're going to look them in the eye and tell them, hey, I haven't seen you.
Yes.
So we can appreciate that, and that's what's needed.
Right. And then Jose says baseball is bigger now. Most of those games are packed. Okay. How you doing, sir? And how you doing, Major Turner? How are you? Greetings. What better way to line your pockets with the taxpayers' money if they don't show up? If they don't show up. Yes, sir. Mr. George, let's be honest about these meetings. Yep, I have to feed my family. That's hard enough. Yeah, so people can't take off their job.
I'm not saying every meeting. I'm not saying being there every meeting.
Okay.
But I'm saying, with the current climate in Columbus and things that are happening in Columbus, we cannot afford, you got to make a sacrifice. We make sacrifices with everything.
Right.
When it comes to our daily lives.
Right.
So that's a small sacrifice to make in order for you to be a part of the process and know what things are being talked about and what things are being voted on.
Well, I feel what the people are saying, because even as a small business owner, when we sit in there for hours and then they go into executive session and we have to sit there and wait for them to come back, I'm thinking about all the hours I'm missing from things that I should be doing or could be doing for my small business. So I do feel like they need to take in consideration the citizens and what's going to be best for the citizens to make sure we get everything we need. And they do have YouTube. You can watch it on YouTube. So what do you think about that?
Yeah, so again, it goes back to there's no excuse.
But you can't get on that public agenda. That's the problem on YouTube.
Well, you can't
do that.
You can't, and you don't have to be on the agenda for every meeting.
Yeah.
But you can get on the agenda. Let's say you know it's going to be at 5 o'clock. Okay, so typically people get off at 4 p.m., maybe 5 at the latest. You can get there.
And you got responsibilities with children now, picking them up, feeding them.
I mean, you gotta
babysitter, or what you gonna do?
Again, people make sacrifices for everything else, which they won't make an excuse for. But when it comes to something that's going to help move the city forward. Oh, they need to change the time. I can't be there. I can't miss work. Well, listen, spring break is coming up. Folks going to miss work for that. Summer vacation is coming up. Folks going to miss work for that.
You're right. That's planned in advance.
Okay, so when we're talking about moving the city forward and issues that are plaguing the city right now, there's no excuse you can give me. You know how many people fought and died on a serious note? They didn't make excuses. They walked across the Pettus Bridge and was beaten over the head, killed, sprayed with water hoses, bitten by dogs. So people can't give me excuses of why they can't show up to city council and hold these city councilors and leadership accountable. Like, there's no excuse.
All right. Mr. Turner says not sufficient news coverage when the city has controversial issues that significantly impact dollars to be spent. Right. Let's see. Yes, her sign is on my yard in District 1. Talking about Sherry. Okay. They won't be waving signs at the spiderweb due to the bridge. Right. Hi, Amy. How are you? Districts are large, and I've seen some working on canvassing. I've seen some working on. Be patient. They are coming to introduce themselves. Okay. And Dr. Natalie, your big business. Okay. I can't speak for the incumbent, but I have seen some new candidates. Right. Well, yes. I need, Amy, listen, they need to turn it up a notch, honey, because the time is winding down for me. And so I need them, especially in those districts where we are looking for change and we want people out of there. How does the Transformer say, roll out? Roll out. We want them out of there. We really need to make sure that they are getting out and getting their signs. Like, I'm just telling you, in District 5, I see a whole lot of crab signs. And not only did she put her sign, she puts Kogel's sign, and then she puts Anchor sign. So they are teaming up. I don't know how they're doing it, but maybe one person is going through the neighborhood and we're going to put everybody's sign in this area. But there's neighborhoods that I don't see anything for Mr. Watkins. So those are the things that we're talking about. I get that they're trying, but if they really want to win this election, I feel like they need to step it up.
Yeah. And which goes back to my point, people got to show up.
Yeah.
You know, people got to do their duties as citizens, you know, on this side. Right.
As Major Turner said, service minimum wage earners just can't afford to take off. Also, the public has to be educated in advance of issues. Leaders in the community who are up to date on the issues must keep their constituents informed. And that's where I believe it's at. Having those town halls, you know, meeting with your people on a regular basis. An email system where you're listing the issues and the updates on a regular basis. But most of them are not even doing that. And then when they have the audacity to complain about, you know, it's a lot of work, that makes it even worse for me. Because you shouldn't be in the seat if you're going to complain. And you're barely, you know, as it is, as a whole, doing a great job with the educating of the community.
So those that are in those seats, you know, you got to have the time. You got to prioritize the time and make sure that you're advising and having these forums so constituents can be, you know, out here and be informed. Because again, like Major Turner said, some people, minimum wage workers, those who are in poverty, who don't have childcare, who don't have the things that they can put in place so they can have the extra time. You know, the city councils have to put these forums out there so for these people and everybody anyway, like you said, the constituents got to be able to be informed.
It should be a top priority to them to make sure that citizens are informed. And I feel like at the meetings, like we're not getting the meat and potatoes, we're just getting you know, bits and pieces.
Is that what you believe? Yeah. At the city council meeting?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't feel like we're getting a thorough, even though it's long, because some people are long-winded, but you know, like just so everything is laid out and understood, I don't think we get that. Now, Mr. Jose said, should leaders say who they are supporting? What leaders, sir? What leaders? Like you? Or like elected officials? Let us know what you mean by that.
Yeah, it's pretty clear with some people, even if they haven't said who they're supporting, they're showing through their actions who they're supporting, some of them anyway.
Okay, and then Amy says, hopefully some of your viewers looking for change will consider getting involved. Thanks for offering a platform to involve the citizens. Absolutely.
Yeah,
that's
people got to be involved.
True.
People have to be
a part
of the process.
Because they definitely can't do it by themselves.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah. And if you just joined us, we talked about the $50 million baseball renovation that happened with Synovus Park, and how the investors, they're not on the hook if it doesn't work out, but the citizens of Columbus are on the hook for this $50 million if it doesn't work out. And we know, in looking back at history, I'm from Columbus, born and raised. I've been to a few games throughout my lifetime, and baseball has not thrived in Columbus for whatever reason. So I don't understand what would make them think that it's going to thrive now when we know that football is the number one sport. I think then basketball and even soccer has moved, I think, past baseball. So it remains to be seen.
How long typically has the baseball situation been in Columbus each time? Because you said about 3 or 4 different names.
Yeah, so as far back as I can remember, the team has been here in the early 1900s. I know in the 80s it was here, during the 90s and early 2000s it was here.
So would you say like 2 to 3 years they would last, or
about that 2 to 3 years and then fizzle out?
Okay, all right, we'll see.
Attendance would decline, I think, year after year.
Okay. Now, Miss Debbie said, can we talk about the mayor's UNCF event? Did you go, Miss Debbie?
Yeah, we
Tell
can
us
talk about it. Yeah, so we didn't attend, but we did find out what we could about the event. And we watched a little bit of the red carpet. But if you attended, please put it in the comment section what you thought about it.
And it takes forever to clean their district's trash, but can spend $5 million in an instance. Make that make sense? Absolutely. And we are talking about priorities. Now, Mr. Jose, you said yes to what? So are you talking about yourself as a leader? Let me go back up to your question. Should you say who you are supporting, or should elected officials say who they are supporting? Can you elaborate on which one? And she says, no, I didn't attend. Okay. It seemed like it was a beautiful event. Every year it seems very elegant and just opulence and beautiful.
Yeah. And it's for a great cause, of course. So
yes. Okay.
Yeah. We're probably going to be in the building next year. For the next one.
Hopefully, it depends.
Yeah. We'll see.
It depends.
We'll see. But yeah.
Depends. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So we talked about the data. Well, we're going to get to the data center. We talked about Synovus Park. We talked about who's running. The stage is set as far as candidates that are running for local government in Columbus.
Can I get this one comment in real quick before you move on? Mr. Jose says, suggest you visit a game. I've been to 3 and I've seen a park packed.
Yeah, that might be the case. But we're talking about what history has shown us. Like that might be the case right now. But if it doesn't work out, then the citizens are on the hook for this $50 million. You know what I mean? So that's all I'm saying. Like, it has not worked out in Columbus. So what would make them think, hey, we have a better plan that is going to work out now? You know what I mean? It hasn't worked.
Okay. So to his point, to talk about it being packed, right? We've seen on social media where churches have taken their kids, their youth department out. We've seen it get a lot of traction, right? That honeymoon phase. So I think what we're trying to say, let's see how it unfolds in a couple of more years. If it's going to continue to have that impact, or is it going to dwindle?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
All right. Let me see. Let's see. Okay. So should he and other community leaders suggest who they support in the campaigns? I believe so. I believe leadership is the ability to influence others. And so I do believe that if you are supporting a candidate and you have a sphere of influence, then you should absolutely endorse a candidate, that you feel is going to represent the district or the mayor's seat well, or the school board seat well. What's your thoughts on that? She said maybe they got free tickets.
Right.
Clock the T, yes.
Yeah. I don't have a problem with it.
Okay.
Yeah, if you want to disclose who you endorse, by all means. I do understand that some people don't want to disclose it for whatever reason. Maybe it's whatever organization they're affiliated with. They don't want backlash from whatever
scrutiny that comes with it, all of that good stuff like that. And so most of our elected officials on city council, with the exception of Mr. Chambers, Mr. Allen, have endorsed candidates that are running for mayor. Not so much I've seen for city council or school board, but they have endorsed people for mayor. What are your thoughts on that? Should they be allowed to do that, or should they do that?
I think so. Yeah, I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah, I think it's a form of transparency. Let us know.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with it at all. Yeah.
Let us know. Yes. And so, we got to do our part to support the candidates that we support. Right. And that comes with, if you are a leader in the community, sharing it with your sphere of influence, but also having the receipts, to be able to not just do it because a certain color, not just do it because a certain gender, and not just do it because the person's nice, but have the receipts of how their leadership is going to definitely impact our community in the right way.
Right. So to kind of piggyback off that, so we talked about how it's election season, candidates are showing up to different churches, and leadership, they're getting donations for their church, and these donations are in exchange for, in essence, votes. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that at all, because what's happening in Columbus is these folks are getting votes from these church leaders in these churches. They get elected, and now we have what we have with the current leadership in Columbus. Right.
So, for instance, the Asbury Church, they use their community center to host the association meetings for Oakland Park, right?
Right.
So, in driving through that community this weekend, if she cares so much, I'm not sure if they're getting donations at all, because I seen a cracked window. I seen outside work that could be done to improve the building. And the grass and all the curb appeal and all that stuff needed some improvement as well. So it's just like, where are our standards as a people? Are we just settling for, the best, and I keep saying this, but the best thing I've heard them say that she's done is trunk or treat and dressing up like a bunny rabbit and parades, of which none of that really contributes to the fundamental things that need to be fixed in the community. So that's my issue, is the standards are too low.
I agree, and things have got to change, and they're low for whatever reason. We could rattle off 4 or 5 reasons why we believe they're low.
Right.
But yeah, put in the comment section of why you believe the standards are so low in certain districts, like 7, 3, parts of District 1. You know what I mean? So. And
honey, let's talk about the fact that I backed up, right, to this one home that we thought was vacant, abandoned. It looks condemnable. The grass was really high, but Kogel's sign was in the person's yard. So I'm like, well, I was going to get a picture, but then we seen the person roll up that actually lived there, right? So I was like, well, out of respect, I won't take a picture. But it was a mess.
Well, I don't think that has anything to do with her sign.
Yeah, it's a reflection of the district.
Well, you can't make somebody cut their grass and then you put your sign there.
Okay, even the house and all of that stuff. I'm just saying.
One has nothing to do with the other for me.
Well, it does have something to do for me, because that's why the standards are low. Because if these are the type of people who are voting for you, that's why the standards are low. You don't care about the district as a whole, because they don't care.
But you got to reach everybody. You got to reach. You got to door knock everybody.
Oh no.
Whether the grass is cut or not, no matter what neighborhood, because everybody has the right to be able to vet the candidate.
Yeah, and you know what? If I was a candidate rolling up on that, I'd be like, hey, what's going on with the grass here? That's what leadership is all about. That is what influence is all about.
Ask somebody about the grass?
I sure would. I'd be like, hey, what's going on here? Do we need to borrow a lawnmower? How can we help you?
And guess what? They're not voting for you because they're going to be offended. They're going to be offended.
They shouldn't be.
They shouldn't be. But
if I'm lending a hand to help, I'm saying I'm going to help, because this is not okay.
What do y'all think? Would you be offended if a candidate came to your house and was like, hey, look at your grass?
Hi, Corey. How you doing? He says, what's up? How you doing?
Yeah.
Well, listen, that's how I feel about it. I just, you got to care about everything.
No, I agree. But, yeah, I wouldn't do that.
You would be offended if I came and I said, hey, what's going on with your grass?
Yeah, because you need to be worried about other things. You need to be worried about what's going on with the city. Never mind my grass.
That's part of the city.
Well,
that's part of the district.
We know that a certain demographic, that's the least of their worries is what their grass is looking like. They're struggling to live right now.
You said never mind about my grass. Okay.
I'm just saying that's the reality of some people. They're not worried about that. They're worried about food, shelter, and the three things that they need to survive.
Okay, so that's a part of community though. Like if I say, hey, can I come out and lend you my lawnmower or help you mow your lawn? That's being a neighbor. That's being community. That's showing that I care, and we need to raise our standards. That's all I'm trying to say. That's all I'm trying to say.
I don't think it's going to be received like that. But I get what you're saying. Though.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mr. Turner says mentality in our communities is very low. We have been waiting a long time for city leadership to really care. Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, and
I agree.
I get that it could feel or seem overwhelming, with so much going on in a district and then the city as a whole, because everybody's different. Like we're all different. We have, as we rode through Oakland Park, we saw nice lawns, manicured lawns, lawns that have been treated, yards that were well taken care of, homes that were well taken care of, and then right next to it, you could have a house that looked like God knows what. So everybody's different. All personalities are different. But the thing for me is that's the whole purpose of leadership, is the ability to influence people and raise the standards. And if you can't, to accomplish a mission or what have you, if you cannot do that, and if you don't care to do it, then we don't need you to be calling yourself a leader.
Yeah, I think, part of the problem is when you're dealing with renters, that's what you run into versus homeowners where there's an HOA that's going to make sure that your stuff is neat and organized.
Right.
Yeah, that's what you run into, which is why they say, people who rent in areas where there's a lot of renters, it's low voter turnout.
Okay. Yeah.
So
you're right. Yeah. Okay. All right. I'm sorry. So what's next?
Yeah, we can get into the data center. So we attended.
Wait.
We attended.
Talk about all this stuff. Okay.
What you got? What you got?
Okay, I just didn't know if we had talked about everything.
Okay.
You talked about.
Yeah, we went down to the gubernatorial forum. So Secretary of State, Mr. Adrian Constanary, is running for Secretary of State. If you haven't had a chance to sit down and listen to him and go to any one of his forums or meet and greets, make sure you do that, because
check him out.
Yeah, he is definitely going places.
High speed,
intelligent. Yeah,
and
he's got
walking on water. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then what do we have?
That District 15
Senate.
There's 4 people running for that, and we talked about that last week. But we have Mr. Harbison
Jr.
Yes, and we have Miss Williams.
Nia Williams.
We have Mr. Reese. Teddy Reese.
Yeah.
And then we have Mr. Hand.
Yes.
Yes, Mr. Hand. And then for 140, we have.
We have Mr. Marquise Averett. And I can't remember
the other guy's
name.
But he's a Republican.
Yeah, but it's 2 people running for District 140. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. If you guys know the other name of the guy that's running against Mr. Averett, please put it in the comment section.
Yeah.
And also, if you're just joining us, we ask that you please share this. Share this with your friends and family. We don't want the conversation to stop here, so we appreciate the support.
He says the neighbor has to have a lawnmower. That's right.
Hey, yeah.
Gotta help him out.
Yeah.
Okay, honey.
All right.
Into the data center.
Yes. It's a hot topic in Columbus. It is a hot topic.
So hot.
Yeah, it's burning. It's burning. Make sure y'all put it in the comment section. If you've been to these PAC meetings, if you've been to these data center meetings, we choose Columbus. Mrs. Missy, who is
she's the CEO for Choose Columbus.
CEO, okay.
And Miss Missy is about that life, honey. Straight faced. And I was thrilled when they said a data center, the potential of a data center, in a crowd of people who are, they got on their no data center shirts.
Yes.
They got signs and they're passing them out for everybody. She stood up there 10 toes down.
She did.
Yes.
Yeah, we got to give her, she's brave.
Oh my.
I take my hat off to her, because not everybody can do that.
Yeah.
But the aggression was directed towards the wrong person, in my opinion.
I do.
Like, people were aggressive.
I agree.
It got a little bit unruly at one point. People started walking out at that point. But yeah, I think they're directing their energy. They need to be directing it toward City Council,
right,
instead of Choose Columbus.
Right.
Now I get it that Choose Columbus, their responsibility is economic growth in Columbus. You know, to grow business and to bring in new business to Columbus. But with the data center, you know, they're not profiting, they're not benefiting at all. Choose Columbus.
Right, from what we understand.
Right, but they are for economic growth.
Yes.
So of course they want the business to come here. You know what I mean? And it says it's going to bring jobs, but I don't believe those jobs are going to benefit Columbus.
Right.
Those jobs are going to, you know, they'll be. I think there's like 190 between 190, to 500 jobs.
And they just might as well leave that part out, because that's what's making people upset too.
But that's how they sell it though.
But
you know,
that's what's making people upset. Every time they say 195 jobs, knowing good and well those jobs are not going to serve the people here in Columbus, that's a trigger for people.
I mean, and what do y'all think? You know, are these jobs going to be permanent, long term? You know, are these jobs going to be for people outside Columbus or
starting
inside
at
Columbus?
80K, that's what they said. So who does that really benefit in our communities, right? Because Pratt and Whitney, they take people right out of high school. Is that what they do?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay, okay.
And they might. I think they do have entry-level positions at Pratt and Whitney.
Yeah, so I just don't know, you know, where the 80K, if it's not being taught at Columbus State University or high school or, you know, Chattahoochee, CTC or one of those community colleges, I'm just not exactly sure how anyone is going to transition, you know, into that.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see.
Right. So
yeah, I don't think they're going to be hiring local people. I think these are people that's coming from the outside of Columbus for the majority of these jobs.
So we started with the Planning Advisory Commission meeting on Wednesday. That meeting started at 9 a.m. and it was held at the Chambers on Macon Road. Yeah. So what were your thoughts on that?
I think it was just a formality. Like, you know, people got up there to speak their piece. They got up there, said what they had to say, and the people hurried up. The commission, the board got out of there quick. Like, I think it was just a formality to say, hey, we listened, we heard you, just so they can check it off the list. Right,
and I felt that way too. Though I felt like they wanted to get it off of their plate and move it on to the city council. To be fair, they stated they only had until 10 o'clock to be in there because it looked like the election board needed to come in and use that space. Right. However, with that time frame, they gave everybody 5 minutes, they said, that were in line to speak. And there was a lady, and I can't remember her name, and she's very passionate about, you know, the data center and it not coming because of her family. Passionate. Okay. Yes. Right. Listen, but this is where my problem came in for her, is when they told her she only had 5 minutes. Right. She was reading the Bible. She was reading scripture after scripture, verse after verse in the Bible. And when they told her, like, ma'am, you know, your time is up, she kept going. And so for me, you didn't have consideration for everybody else that was standing in line that deserved and had the right to speak as well. So that was my concern for her. There was about 2 people that were there that were for data centers, 2 gentlemen, and then everybody else either had questions or they're not here for it. Right. Yeah. So. And they went ahead and approved it and got it off their desk.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't think, yeah. And the overlay, if you're familiar with what the overlay is for, it is a process. Like, it's a process for people to understand what's happening with this data center. So I don't think this was a yay or nay when it comes to what the board wanted. Right. It was just a formality of the citizens coming out to get an understanding of what this overlay district is about.
Right. And so the overlay itself is a format that allows the city to have a say in restrictions and things that can happen, all of that good stuff. So they approved that. Now, had they had they not approved it, right? They said no, then that means that the city wouldn't have a say in whatever was going on with what they were going to put down there as far as the data center.
So maybe maybe I have a misunderstanding, but I thought the overlay district was a formality. This is what Choose Columbus brought to the table. In order for the citizens to be heard and for city council to make a decision.
So the overlay is actually, the way the man explained it was like a file folder.
Yeah, it's a process, right? Like it's showing you that, hey, we want to bring this data center to Columbus, and this is what we want to do with it. This is, the package that comes with that. So they bring it before the citizens. In there is what everybody wants. In there is what they want to do with the data center. And then from there, people can talk about whether they want it or not. We went to the PAC meeting, and then from there, it goes to city council. And then city council will say, hey, we agree or we don't agree based on the things that you want.
Okay.
So people talk about, maybe your Georgia Power bill may go up. People were concerned about their water bill may rise, and things of that nature. People were concerned about taxes and things like that. So it's really not that complex. If you read it, it's really not that complex.
And if you go to Choose Columbus website, they have question and answers, which are very thorough. And then you also can contact them if, in fact, there's something, in the answer that you do not understand. So what that did is raise concerns for me, is that some of these people have been to more meetings than I have. And so they're saying that their questions have not been answered. But are you taking the time outside of the meeting to contact Missy Monday through Friday, 9 to 5 or whatever?
Yeah.
Have you been to the website to check out it goes everything. Community benefits, lighting and noise.
Yeah.
It has all these different job and incentives. It has all these questions and answers provided right here on the page. And so for people to allow their, to boil up and allow it to build up, and then show up to those meetings and just let it burst, I'm concerned about that. I'm concerned.
Yeah, at this point, at this stage, there's no excuse not to be informed about this data center. There's plenty of information. Even if you don't go to Choose Columbus website, which you should, you can go on YouTube. You can Google, data centers and what it entails. There's no excuse not to know what's going on with a data center, what it is, what it isn't. You know what I mean? And they did too, to add to that, they did say it's a closed loop system, which means they're going to recycle and reuse the water. We got to just look things up ourselves, make ourselves smart about it. Of course, it is up to our city officials and leadership also to make sure that we're well informed. So,
right.
It's a hot topic.
Yeah. So please visit the website, choosecolumbusgeorgia.com. It has several questions that have already been asked, and it's very organized. You just click on it and it answers like a drop down.
Right.
And it answers all the questions. What is a data center? What is a hyperscaler? It just answers a lot of questions. And if you're still confused after that, you can contact them Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, or you can attend one of these meetings. But what shouldn't happen is that, and people have let their emotions, she just came from Rome, this is what she does. They have really put her at the center of this data center, which is really just a business transaction, and she's trying to communicate what it's going to bring to Columbus.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And again, part of Choose Columbus's responsibility is to bring, economic development to Columbus.
Right.
So people got to get out and ask questions, attend meetings, so they can be informed.
Okay, still acquiring more information. This is Major Turner on the pros and cons, but I do know the process to get there is flawed. Initially, the number was 150 plus employees. The real question is how many long-term career employees? Absolutely.
Right.
And
that's a major concern.
When we look at the AT&T data center that's sitting on Victory Drive Veterans and 13. Right? You barely see anybody coming in and out of there. You barely see any cars or, employees or what have you.
Right.
It's a building. It has technology on the inside. And pretty much, and if we gonna be honest, who's upkeeping the outside? Because what you do have is some camps set up on the stairs. You know what I'm talking about,
I haven't
right?
seen that. Oh, you talking about Veterans?
On 13th Avenue? Is it 13th? What's the bridge road?
Yeah.
Okay, you haven't seen the camps that's sitting up on that
AT&T,
corner, honey?
I haven't seen it.
Honey,
I haven't seen it, but I'll
you
make sure
haven't
the
seen
next
the homeless
time.
people sitting there?
I'm telling you, I haven't seen it. I have not seen it. I mean, I know there's a community in that area, but I haven't seen it specifically at the data center, though.
Right, it's right on the
Yeah,
steps,
okay.
right on the steps. And so I say that to say they even know that people aren't coming in and out because they have set up camp right there in those areas. So
Yeah.
okay. So yeah, the PAC meeting was Wednesday, pretty empty in there. They went ahead and passed it and moved it on. Then we went to the data center meeting on Friday.
Yeah.
And listen, it got turned up real quick in there.
Well, again, like they're directing their energy and aggression toward Choose Columbus, and Choose Columbus, they're not invested. They don't have a dog in this fight. You know what I mean? So they're not incentivized in any kind of way, as far as we know. And they even said that they're not being incentivized to advocate for the data center. You know what I mean? But it does bring business to Columbus.
Right.
So if anything, that's what their job is to do.
Right.
So that's what they would be for it, in my opinion. But to go back to the jobs, yeah, it's going to bring very few jobs, and even less jobs that are going to be permanent. So when you talk about the pros and cons, for me, the pros are, okay, yeah, we'll bring jobs. But to me, that's really not the same as opportunities.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
It's a
Careers
closed loop
for people
system.
here.
It's a closed loop system, so that's a pro. Choose Columbus, Miss Missy, she did say that they're not going to, that this organization or this company, they have to foot the bill for their electric bill, their water bill, and for any kind of environmental issues. They got sewage, that's what I mean. So they got to fit the bill for that. The city's not responsible in any way for these costs that comes with this. So.
And so with that too, Dr. Van Doren asked for a moratorium.
Yeah.
He stated if it was good for now, it'd be good for later, and that the city really needed to take the time to dig in and make sure everybody was educated and get the experts to the table to make sure everybody feels good. Because I believe the number one issue for people is it being in their backyard, in their residence, in their community. I think that's the number one issue. What do you think?
Yeah, and I think that's probably the only con to me is that the people who live in that area, it affects them.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like those who live further away don't really have to worry about the noise, the lighting, and things of that nature. So those who live in the general area of the data center, those are the people that it's going to affect. So when it comes to, higher power bills, higher water bills, and then sewage costs, that's supposed to be taken care of by this organization or this company who's building it.
Right.
So I don't really see too many cons when it comes to it.
So, and the issue with that is that, like you said, with the baseball field, let's look at the history.
Right.
So what we've learned is that the rates have increased, water and electric, in the past, with Republicans being all Republicans being in the PSC situation, right? So the Georgia Power or whoever power would go to them, ask for a rate increase to cover what have you, and they would give them a thumbs up, and then that cost fell on the citizens. But I do think there's some legislation in place that's going to stop that. And then I want to believe that she's telling us the truth, that it's not going to impact us. They're not going to be able to take a back door, go to the PSC and ask for help, and then it fall on the citizens.
Right, and that's a big concern for people. But she said up front that they're not gonna, they can't, they in order to build this data center, they have to take on the responsibility of the costs associated with it, and that was agreed upon.
Yeah.
So if that's the agreement, then
I'm tracking. So I feel like I just don't know enough to know how the other systems or deals were put together for them to be able to go to the PSC and then also ask them for a rate increase and it be approved. So that part is what I'm not tracking. Because if you come to the table and you sign an agreement with our city,
right,
but you're able to go to the state level and say, hey, we need a rate increase, and it gets approved.
Yeah.
I'm just a little bit not tracking on how that part works.
Yeah, and again, it's a private deal. She did say it's a private deal,
Yeah.
and they didn't have to.
Right.
They didn't have to ask for this district. Was it
Overlay?
overlay district? They didn't have to ask for this.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not sure. Did Choose Columbus ask for this district overlay or?
No, I think they presented it to Choose Columbus. I'm
Yeah.
not sure. I have to double check.
She did talk about
But
it.
they did put the owners who owns the property. It's a beautiful property. If I'll share it here later.
Yeah.
It is a beautiful property, and I can see why people wouldn't want that to turn into a space for a data center.
Yeah.
It is
Yeah.
absolutely beautiful.
Mhm.
And so she did put the owners in there. You know, it's private property. And like you said, they didn't have to bring it forth to the city or anything like that.
Yeah.
But they're going through these channels, you know, to make sure everything is good.
Right.
Let's see. Miss Debbie says, I can't get a pizza delivered to my home. Really, Miss Debbie? I called Marcos and Domino's. Are you serious?
Well, Miss Debbie, what did they tell you? What? And I understand, like with some delivery companies, they have no delivery zones or no delivery neighborhoods. I do understand it, but what's the reason? Did they give you a reason why?
Right. Okay. And then she says they need to build a data center in the North Columbus near Green Island. See how they like that. I'm tracking with you, Miss Debbie. Let's see. I believe nothing they are saying. I remember a candidate at the forum was talking about our garbage pickup. We went from twice a week to once a week. She stated we could go to once a month. Oh, wow. They don't deliver in my area. Now, that is ridiculous.
I mean, I get it, though.
Did you ask them why, Miss Debbie, they don't deliver in your area?
Well, normally it's because it's either high crime areas and the drivers don't feel safe. So maybe there were incidents where they were robbed or they were, whatever happened. That's usually how it goes, or why they won't deliver in certain areas.
Yeah, but she lives in a nice neighborhood.
Right. But they still can deem it, you know, like I said, they have their rules of why they don't deliver, and there's nothing you can do about it, but it's unfortunate.
Wow. So, because of all of the outcry of the data centers and people just being upset, they have March 20th, the city published that there will be a meeting this Monday from 5 to 7 on Salmon Recreation.
Yes.
Right? And so it's kind of last minute because there's other things going on at the same time that are important to people, for candidates that are running, and they're not likely to make it there.
Well, I don't know. To me, that's one of the hottest topics besides the candidates that are running locally. So I think people will be in there.
Yeah, I do believe a lot of people will be in there. I know that. But what I'm trying to say, that people have planned events. Like there's an Impact teen event that's going on at the, what's the art school there off of Rigdon Road?
Oh, Rainey McCullough?
Yes.
Okay.
And that's a big deal for parents and for their students, this ceremony or whatnot. And there are candidates who are participating in this. And they're not going to, that's a good stretch.
Well, I mean,
Rigdon Road to Salmon, that's a good stretch.
But there's going to be several meetings. This won't be the last one. So people have plenty of opportunities to go to some of these meetings and sit in and ask questions and, you know, make themselves more smart about what's happening.
Yeah, and I say that to say that I feel like the city does a lot of just last minute, just they'll put out a whole memo and say there's a meeting or there's a drive along or what have you. And they don't give people really enough time to plan in advance to make sure they can attend. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So that's going to be Monday. I believe the mayor, they said Flint Energies, maybe Georgia Power, all the people that I believe that are supposed to be a part of the deal will be present for that meeting to answer questions.
And just let me say this real quick. So data centers are needed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're needed. A lot of people don't seem to understand how that works. Like when you want to stream Netflix and even this live that we're doing right now, and you want high speed, that's why these data centers are needed. You know what I mean? Because there's so much information.
Right.
You know what I mean? And if you want high speed, you know, this is the price you got to pay to get that. You know what I mean? And the era that we're in with technology and everything is done, technology is done with, you got to use it for everything.
Right. And so they list some of those hyperscale places that are, likely to take over this place if, in fact, a deal goes through. And that's like Amazon, Microsoft, Google, all of the places that we use, things that we use. And so I thought it was interesting that somebody mentioned that, we think cloud and we think really, literally, cloud is just up there and out there somewhere. And actually, it's in a data center. It's being stored in some form of computer in a big building somewhere. So I think that brings reality to people. And I think the main issue is where the location. Second, I think it's, the possible increase of electricity and water bills. And then any type of environmental issues that, could come. Somebody said, what's the movie that had the pretty lady in it? Erin Brockovich.
Oh yeah, I don't know.
Right. Somebody mentioned that movie and how, you remember the movie, how the land was horrible. It was giving people cancer because the company was whatever they had going on there. Yeah. So people are concerned about it like that.
Well, with it being, like I said, it's a closed loop. Now, as far as the water is concerned, like it's a closed loop system. Now, as far as lighting, noise, because some people claim that, it's loud, even if you don't hear it, you can feel the vibrations.
Right.
In your home, your walls are shaking. So, those that are directly live close to this place, they're going to feel it.
Right.
Yeah, they're going to feel it.
And I think we need to have empathy for those people because they are showing up to every meeting. People that literally live in the area and are going to be impacted by it. I think we need to have empathy because there was one gentleman, he was like delusional and in a cult. And I feel like, that's taking it too far, especially
if he accusing?
He's the people that don't want it.
Okay.
And if he doesn't live out there, if it's not going to affect where he lives, then he needs to have some consideration. You can be very smart and intelligent about things, and because he was saying it was going to support schools and all kinds of things of that nature. But we want to make sure that the people that, they invested, they saved, they built for their families to live in a rural type community.
Right.
And now their dreams and their life is being just shattered because of what they're planning to bring out there.
Right.
And I don't know if you'll be able to see it or will it be sitting in the middle of the woods and they won't be able to see it? Like, what's the plan? But
well, I heard some of these warehouses are really pretty tall. So I think you're going to be able to see it. Like you cannot hide it.
Right.
As you can see, the AT&T is tall.
It is tall.
So this one's supposed to be even larger than that.
Oh.
So I think it's going to be very noticeable. It's not going to be like, inconspicuous or it's going to be in your face from what I can tell and from other ones that I've seen.
Okay. She says, yes, they don't deliver in my area. And she said, Mr. George, let's keep it real. She says, I don't live in a high crime area. I refuse to drive to University in Winton Road in the future for pizza. Well, Miss Debbie, I don't know what is going on with that, and I would need to research and ask them exactly what is the problem. Yeah, so that don't make no sense.
So, Mrs. Debbie, what it is, like, to you, it's not a high crime area, but to them, they may consider it a high crime area. You know what I mean? And that's how it works. If they consider it a high crime area, then they can say, hey, we're not going to deliver there. And it may not very well be a high crime area, but they might deem it as a high crime area. Okay. You know what I mean? So in that case,
I'll have to ask.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to have to ask because I don't know what's the closest one for that area, but goodness alive.
Yeah. And it only takes like one or two incidents, you know what I mean, for somebody to ruin it for everybody. So let's say a driver was robbed, you know what I mean, maybe it happened twice. That's all it takes for them to be like, no, we're not delivering there. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
Another meeting that's going on, a public meeting that's going on Monday at 5:30, same time frame, at Shirley Winston Park in the community room is the Buena Vista Road rezoning meeting. So if you're interested in attending that, it's also Monday. And see, I don't even know how much support they're going to get because a lot of people are concerned about the data center. but that is on Monday as well, 5:30 p.m. at Shirley Winston Park, the community room, for the rezoning of Buena Vista Road. And some people have concern about that. I think they want to bring apartments and different things there
to
the Buena Vista area over there, close to or near the school area, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. So we'll see how that works out. We'll see how that works out, because in order for investors to want to invest in certain areas like Buena Vista Road, St. Mary's Road, those areas that are south of Macon Road, as they say, you don't want to go, the crime has to be brought down. You know what I mean? And crime and poverty are direct, you have high crime because of poverty.
Yeah.
So until you fix the crime problem, you know what I mean? Or until you fix the poverty problem, you're going to keep having high crime problems.
Right.
And you can't arrest your way out of that. You can't just keep building bigger jails. You know what I mean? You got to give people opportunities. That's the only way it's going to work.
Okay. So she says, Natalie, I have family that live in the country. I saw plenty of no data centers in the area with big homes and huge acreage of land. All the yards had no data signs. Okay. Yeah. Near your former client. Right. Because that's where they are. Out towards Upatoy. Yeah. That's where they're planning to put it, in those rural areas. And people move out in those areas for a reason.
Right. Right.
To get away from the hustle and bustle of, the city and this stuff that they're trying to bring out there. But it also makes for a good location for something like a data center. So
right.
Consider all of those things.
Yeah. And one lady asked the question, hey, why don't they consider the technology park in Columbus? Which
makes sense, right?
Well, not necessarily, because with the costs that comes with the data center, that's why they want it to be in these rural areas where the land is cheaper.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And they can buy up so much land where they can expand if needed.
Okay.
Versus the technology park, you might be limited to where you can't scale, you can't continue to expand. So that's why I believe they need raw land so they can just expand if they need to, build more if they need to, and that's why I believe they want to put it in those type of areas.
And it is a beautiful location. Again, it's so pretty, and it's got streams and different things running through it. Very nice, and so it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, and I would say we do need it. We do need a data center, but not at the expense of people having to deal with noise, lighting, and their lives being disrupted. So just because something is a necessity doesn't mean that it's right for us.
Absolutely. And I do believe they need to bring all the experts to the table, especially as it regards environmentalists, because people are concerned with if pipes burst, the residue of
wetlands in the area.
Yeah, what's going on and seeping into the land, the water. All of that stuff is important, and I believe if they had made all of this stuff very clear and concise, maybe some people wouldn't have confusion about it.
Yeah.
And then there's so much information globally, nationwide. I imagine that you have all these different ideas of all the things that can go wrong. Yeah. So, it's definitely better to be safer to me than sorry.
I agree. I agree. But I was going to say, make sure you go to Choose Columbus. Make sure you go to their website, because they have it broken down, and explained very, very clearly for people to understand what's happening. And you can go on YouTube, type in different data centers around the country, and see the pros and cons of what they're saying. You know what I mean? So that's what we've been doing to make ourselves smart.
Yeah.
To know what's going on and what's affecting people and how it's affecting people.
Yeah, and I just want to say this as well. Respect and manners never go out of style. No grown man should be raising their voice or intimidating or using their voice in a tone to a woman who's giving a briefing. Like, I felt that was so disrespectful. And of course, we know what tones, what attitude, what it looks like when it's calm and when it's not. And so I understand being passionate. I understand caring. But, you can still get your point across without, and she's an elderly woman, she's an elderly woman.
Well, I wouldn't say elderly.
She's elderly.
She's a senior.
So, yes, a senior, same thing, honey.
Oh, okay.
just just basic respect, and communicating with her. And I was very disappointed to see those tones, and it's different. It lands different for me when it's a man. Okay. Of course we had women in there too who had tones, right?
Yeah, it was aggressive. So if you haven't been to a meeting and you're planning to go, prepare yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, nobody. Yeah, they were aggressive, and people are frustrated and upset. But there still needs to be, you can go about it in a different way. Like you don't have to, raise your voice with this lady. And again, this lady in Choose Columbus, they're not the ones who are doing this.
Right.
You know what I mean? They're not building the data center. They're just there to answer questions.
Facilitating the process.
That's it. So
yeah.
And Dr. Broad would have brought it up. Like they're directing their aggressions and energy toward the wrong people.
Right. And so I would just really say that, please be mindful, because, imagine your own mom or your own grandma or, someone that you care about that has a career and this is their job, and some other man being in there just really giving her the third degree. It's not okay. It's not appropriate.
But she was there for it.
I mean, she can handle her own, but at the same time, I would feel if it was my mom standing up there and this is her job and she's trying to, do the information and you have people in the audience, particularly a man talking to her the way that some of the men in there had their tone, I would feel some kind of way about it. Yeah. So, can I talk about some other meetings we have coming up?
Yeah.
So Tuesday we have, I think I sent that to you. We have the city council meeting. It's at 5:30, and it's going to be on Macon Road at the Citizens Center. And we have 20 people on the public agenda. Now that's not the largest number I've seen,
but it's a lot.
But yes, it's 20 people on the public agenda, and guess what they're talking about?
The data center.
The data center, right? 11 out of the 20. That's more than half. Are discussing concerns about the data center. So I don't know if that's what prompted the mayor to have the meeting on Monday, and he thinks that maybe that's going to cut that line down. But I do believe people will still show up and get on the public record on the agenda and still talk about what they need to talk about. And I feel rightfully so. These community meetings are for the public, right?
Right.
And I feel like instead of the mayor encouraging discourse and community engagement, he likes to shut it down. Like well, if you hear what somebody else says, don't get up here and say the same thing, blah, blah, blah. Like, who does that? Somebody that's short-timer, somebody that's ready to go home, somebody that doesn't want to be there longer than they have to be.
And I get it too. You know what I mean? People do need to, so it's two sides to it.
Yeah.
I do understand some people may have the same question, but they're going to ask it in a different way.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So everybody deserves to ask their question.
Yeah.
Because
and
some can articulate it in a different way.
And they don't deserve to be discouraged. And, you have prepared, just like they're supposed to prepare for these meetings. Yeah. These people have prepared to get on the public agenda, say what they need to say. And they should not be discouraged in sharing what they need to say, period.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
That's how I feel about that. And in our last meeting, a lady was escorted out. So I was sitting in the front. So I had no idea that somebody behind us had been escorted out, right? So the mayor was like, no clapping during the public agenda. And I don't even believe she was clapping. I'm not sure what happened, but Mr. Davis was talking about how he visited somewhere for a couple of days and how everything was nice as it regards the data center. And the people weren't having it because they was like, okay, this is all superficial information. Did you ask this? Did you ask that? And next thing you know, we have somebody being escorted out. And I just don't think that's right either. I don't think that's right.
As long as you're not disrupting the meeting, you're not being a distraction, and you're not being disrespectful, there's no reason, I believe, you should be escorted out.
Right. And if you're not a danger to anybody, and that's why it's so important that we have to be mindful of who we elect. because we elect you to represent us, and then you get in there and treat us like we're not worthy of being in there or worthy of anything.
Yeah. The citizens are not the opposition.
Yeah, and I understand decorum, but if we can clap when there's proclamations, and we can clap when somebody's saying bye-bye to city council, if we can clap and give honor to city council people when our fellow citizens get on the public agenda and they have something to say that we agree with, we should be able to clap too.
Yeah, again, as long as it's not disruptive, you're not being a distraction, there shouldn't be an issue. But for whatever reason,
not presenting any form of danger
they
by
want to try to
clapping.
dictate to the citizens what you can and can't do.
Right.
And it's not even in the charter. It's not part of
That
part
part,
of Robert's
honey.
rules.
That part.
So
that part.
that's what's happening.
Where is it? So you're selective in what you're doing and how you do it. That part.
Right.
So city council on Tuesday, and then on the 26th. Listen, we got 2 candidate forums for city council, and they're overlapping.
Right.
And it is just a little frustrating because you wish that these things were not on the same days so that you can really dig in and feel comfortable. But I know we're going to have to go to one, leave a little early
to make it to
the next one.
Yeah.
And so some people may be willing to do that, and some people may not. And then you don't want to miss anything,
Right.
I think this will be the first mayoral candidate where everybody is in the room that will get an opportunity to see them.
Right.
And this is hosted by the Young Dems, and they're looking for 750 people. That's how many seats it holds. That's how many people they want to see in the building, which is great. And then the other one is going to be held at the Synovus. What is it called, honey?
So is it the rooftop?
Yeah.
Synovus rooftop. And I think that's off of First Avenue, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, downtown next to Indigo. The Indigo Hotel across the street. I think that's where it's going to be at.
Yeah.
But we'll get the address out to confirm.
Yeah. And so it seems like it's going to be a really nice event as well. And it's
get there early.
Yeah.
Especially if you want to get to the rooftop and have a nice seat, I think you should get there early.
Yeah, you may not probably be standing up now. And so it's going to be for the counselors. So, and it seems well put together. So super excited for it. Right. But just wishing that, we didn't feel like we're going to have to be rushed to get to one or the other.
Yeah, there's a lot of forums being held, so and maybe that's why people are trying to get them in. But there's a lot of forums on the calendar.
Yeah,
coming up between next week and next month. Yeah,
and I just want to shout out our clerk of council, Miss Lindsay. She operates in such excellence, and she's always very knowledgeable, always just very kind when you ask questions, and they do a great job in her office. And I just wanted to say thank you. I love their new social media page that they didn't have before.
Okay.
And if you have not visited their office, it's amazing. So it has all of these old books, like from 1800s all the way up to now type situation. Vintage, beautiful records, handwritten.
They have them
for the city of Columbus
on display, or they have
no, it's in a file room.
Oh, okay.
But I imagine if you ask her, she'll take you on a tour and allow you to see it. But they just do an amazing job, with information and just making sure we're informed on their social media page, as well as if you email or contact. So thank you, Miss Lindsay, for everything that you bring to the table. Okay, honey.
All right, did we go over everything on the calendar?
I think we did. I think for right now, for what I'm tracking, yes. Yeah, I think that's it.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, we didn't talk about District 7 because we had a new person to come and run for District 7.
Right. So real quick, Mrs. Shiara Richardson for District 7.
Yeah.
Was the final candidate to declare, and she held her press conference. Was it last Monday? But it was last week sometime.
Yes, last week.
And I'll let you start.
It was at the Citizen Center on Macon Road.
Yeah. But yeah, I'll let you.
Oh, okay. So I'm excited to see her enter the race. everything was in excellence there. She had shirts, she had flyers, she had signs already. And so even though she entered here at the last minute, everything was prepared as if she was ready to go. Her social media page is up, and she is a native of Columbus, Georgia. She went through an elementary school, I forgot the name, but Fort Middle, and then also Shaw. And then she's contributed to the community and mentoring youth through the arts. And there's not a stage, from what I understand, that she hasn't been on here in Columbus, from the River Center to the Liberty Theater to what's the other one? Opera.
Springer.
The Springer.
Yeah.
And so a gentle giant is what I would say.
Okay.
She's very reserved, but when she does speak, she speaks. And so she was at that Choose Columbus meeting.
She was.
And she was presenting the facts, honey, the facts. And the lady was like, well, I'm not, she's like, I'm telling you, these are the recent and current numbers. And I like that. I like a person who's done their homework, who's prepared, and know what they're talking about when it comes to showing up for a meeting, showing up for a forum, is, what was it called, for this Choose Columbus thing.
Yeah.
So, so far, so great for me.
Okay. For me, she's knowledgeable. And I believe she has the leadership ability to bring to the table for District 7. She's a native, so that helps. And it seems that she understands city government. You know what I mean? So for me, I feel like she's a really good candidate. She's a strong candidate.
Yeah.
So from what I heard in her press conference, I feel like she's a really good candidate.
Right. I also believe she has the connections, you know, and the resources.
Well, I don't know about that part.
Well, based on what I heard,
yes,
she has the connections in the city. She worked on the Fountain City Classics or something like that. Not the Classics, but something.
Fountain City Slam.
Slam for 15 years.
Yeah.
That's a long time to have something going on consecutively in the community. So I do believe that brings, you know, you went to school at Shaw, you went, you know people.
Yeah.
You know people, and you know how to get things done. And it was something else that I was going to say. Oh, one of the things that I understood is that she lived on Winton, in that area.
Yes.
On one
Winton
side.
Road, yeah.
Which put her in one district, but then when she had to move because of a flood or something in where she lived, it put her in another district.
Right.
And that's when she saw the inequality
Right.
of what one district to another was going through. And I love that, because remember, I have said you got to have a place of reference. You have to have some place of reference to be able to identify with the people. And I believe she has that.
Okay. Yeah, the jury's still out for me. I mean, like I said, from what I've seen so far, she seems to be, I can tell she's serious. I can tell that she's done her homework. She's knowledgeable of city government. But I need to see her in a forum to answer some of these questions, like what's going on with the data center, with economic development and things like that in Columbus right now. Public safety, some of the issues with these gangs and things that have been happening in Columbus for a while now. So I need to see her in these forums before I, make my final decision on what I believe.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, so
that's
I'm looking
fair.
forward to seeing her in a lot of these forums that are coming up.
Listen, I only need one. I need one. Of course, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go to multiple, only because the vibe is different in each one.
Yeah. And listen, shout out to EJ. But listen, EJ, you gotta ask the right questions, man. You can't let them off the hook. You can't take it easy on them. Now, you call it the hot seat for a reason.
Ooh.
Yeah, you can't let them off the hook. So I said all of that to say, when they're in these forums, it depends on who's asking the questions. Because if you're not asking the right questions, people could tell you anything. They could sell you a dream, tell you what they're gonna do and how they listen and how they're gonna show up. But that's surface level. You talking in general terms. Well, I need to know, with the situation, with the things that are facing the city right now, when you're elected, how are you going to change that or make things better?
You should already have a written plan in place.
Right.
Step 1, step 2, step 3.
So that's what I look for, and that's what I'm saying. When people are having these forums, I don't feel like they're asking the tough questions. That's what I mean.
I think he asked some tough questions. I don't think it was consistent. So
well, he did. So he asked about the data center, which some folks they still can't get it together.
Dr. Golden,
they don't have the information.
He said he didn't know much about data centers, and I have shared on the page at this point, no candidate running for anything should be saying what they don't know about data centers.
Well, listen, it was Zachary didn't know.
What?
Sherry Aaron didn't know when it came to the data center.
She did.
I'm just telling you what I heard from my observation. When it came to that data center, folks was stumped. But put in the comment section, folks, if you know, if you've seen the candidates in these forums and they're knowledgeable or not about the data center.
Okay. And so, again, shout out to EJ. Awesome platform. It's called the Hot Seat for the candidates that's been on there so far. And so it's tough when you're going live to ask questions. So that, listen, this is my whole point. Let me let it all out. It's tough to ask questions when you're going live, because that's why ours was in our closed group, so that the next candidate couldn't watch it and practice and know what questions he was going to ask. So I believe that's why maybe some of the questions were different, just so that they weren't, practiced or, ready for it. The hot seat means I'm asking you a question and, we're going to see how you can answer it. And so, there was the consistency, some people had it easy, I think, with the questions.
For example,
some people, they had some very specific questions to what's going on in the city and council and things of that nature. And some people, you could tell they was getting some help about some things. So yeah.
Listen, we got to give it to them. We gotta vet these candidates, because listen, this election is pivotal. Every election is, but especially this one.
Yeah.
With the current climate in the United States right now, and the current climate in Columbus, Georgia right now, we cannot afford for people who get on city council and are not going to be able to hit the ground running.
Yeah.
They don't understand city government.
Not doing their homework right now.
Right. So that's what it is for me.
So obvious, right? It's so obvious when people have not done the work right now. And if you're not doing it right now, if you're not taking the time and the opportunity to make yourself smart about what's going on in city council, city government, budgets, data center, economic development in your area, and then you're not able to communicate that in a way that citizens understand, I can't think that we're going to get anything much better than that if you're elected. And so that's the concern.
60 seconds or less, you should be able to tell us exactly why you're running, who you are and why you're running.
Yeah.
60 seconds or less. It's just that simple. So.
Yeah.
But so.
Some people were stumped with some of the questions that he asked.
Well, a lot of them were stumped.
Well,
so he did ask some, So I give him, he did ask some good questions. But we gotta be asking the tough questions to make sure that people are serious, they're knowledgeable, they're believable, they're sincere. So.
Yeah, and so
go ahead.
No.
Be candid.
No, because every time I say I'm going to be candid, honey, then you look at me like I'm crazy, like you can't believe I let that come out. So I'm going to let that slide.
Speak your mind, man.
I will let it slide.
Talk your stuff, as they say.
Yes. So I think Amy brought up a really good point of making sure that people get the support they need as candidates to get out into the different communities. And from a leadership position, like, you need to be reeling people in, convincing people that, hey, I'm the candidate, I need your help, show up, and this is what we need to do. And that, to me, speaks volumes. If you're not able to rally people together to go out and support you, that's a red flag for me. I've worked on campaigns where people were, it was a dozen or more showing up to meetings, showing up to canvass, showing up to really support a candidate. So, where is that energy at? Where are your people? Because they will show up to party. They will show up to dance. They will show up to, drink and everything else.
Right.
Where are they at right now?
Right, where it matters most.
Right.
That's all we're saying.
Miss Debbie says there is no economic development on this side of Macon Road. It is very disappointing. Yes, ma'am.
Right.
I'm
You're
hoping
right.
when they finish with the bridge for Buena Vista and then that spiderweb area down there, that it's going to do better.
Yeah, and it's going to take the citizens, showing up to these meetings. And it's going to take the counselors that are representing these districts to make sure they're advocating for these things that need to happen, like economic development, infrastructure, helping suppress crime. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it's going to take a collective effort. But people got to show up, and we got to put the right people in office to move the city forward.
Right.
What we got in office right now, the leadership is not what we need, and it's not what Columbus deserves.
Right. Absolutely not. And, it's so much just foolery that I see on certain people's pages, like unprofessionalism, seeking like sympathy and victim mode and stuff like that. I don't want to see that on a city council person's page. I don't. I want to see professionalism. I want to see city business, not your emotional diarrhea coming all over your page about, this person said this about me or this person hurt me so bad. I don't want to see that.
I agree.
Yeah, I don't want to see it. Yeah, okay.
So you want to leave it there?
I think so.
Okay.
We covered everything.
I believe so.
All right, awesome. Thank you all for joining us tonight.
As always, we appreciate it. Make sure you share this. If you find value in our content, thumbs up. But yeah, we appreciate it. Make sure you are supporting African American owned businesses, small businesses. Again, we appreciate the support. We'll be back here next Sunday, same time, same channel. As always, peace and love. See y'all next go round.
All right, have a good one, y'all.